Well, hello everybody, and I'm delighted to be with you today. I've once again pressed the button to be live, and I think we should be live any minute. I decided to do a live video today because there's quite a big change coming up in the energies astrologically, and I thought it would be fun not only to be with you to discuss this, but also to share with you the kinds of aspects that we're seeing and how you might really make best use of these energies in a positive way. So, first of all, we've been under the influence of Cancer and Capricorn in the eclipses, and it's still coming again at the end of the year and in the middle of next year, and that's sort of a theme. And all the outer planets, and when I say the outer planets, I would call that Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn almost. They're all in fire, so they're all in earth and water signs. So we're now moving to a change of flavor, and the flavor is moving away from the earth and water. They're still there, but we're moving from tomorrow out of the sun sign of Cancer and into the sun sign of Leo, a fire sign. At the end of the month, we've got a new moon in Leo. In a few days, Venus goes into Leo. Mars is already in Leo. Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So we've got a ton of fire energy coming up from tomorrow. And fire energy is an upward energy. It's a bursting forward, it's a bursting outward. The signs are divided into masculine and feminine signs. And the masculine signs are the air and the fire signs. So the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, and the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. So these are very much the intangible energies. Fire, you can't touch it for very long without getting burned. Air, we know it's there because we're breathing it, we can't see it. So these are full of potential. And the reason for that, I think, from my studying of Kabbalah, my interest in this field, and I know little about it really, there is so much to learn, but my understanding of the masculine, air and fire energy is because from the male body comes millions of sperm, right? I don't know how many there are. Maybe some of you who are scientists here online will say to me, yes, there's so many millions. So this is vast potential, unlimited, infinite potential. And the earth and the water signs, so if you can think of the female energy, the female takes just one of those sperm, just one of the millions of them, and then that's the one that gets fertilized and becomes the physical body, the physical being, the earth being. It goes into the womb, the water energy, the body is encircled. Thank you, 200 to 300 million. Thank you, Jessica. So, and then this is the grounding energy. The energy where you're coming down head first, usually head out and into the earth. So this is what we're looking at. We've got this earth and water energy which is still predominant, but now for this next month, there's a whoosh of fire. And yes, everyone is 1 in a million. So if you can really think that you are 1 in a million at least that came from that infinite potential of the fire energy of the male sperm. So now we are in this fire energy. Yes, Mercury is still direct until retrograde until the end of the month. Okay, it's not far off. But gradually, tomorrow's Sun, on the 25th Venus, Mars already there, there's this push for igniting your fire, your passion, your creativity, your enthusiasm, your inspiration. This is all fire energy. Romance. In biblical times, and still I do believe today, men are allowed to marry more than one woman. They're allowed to spread that seed around simply because it gets narrowed down eventually to just the one, or maybe twins, or maybe triplets. But it's certainly not millions that get manifest. But now we're coming into this energy of the infinite. Great question. Thank you, Miss Tippy Toes. What kind of mood and energies could we expect? What should we be aware of, and what to work on? Well, one thing is very much getting in touch with your child. Everybody's got an inner child. Doesn't matter whether you're 9 or 99 or 109. There's still a part of you that just likes to play and wants to play and doesn't want to be so responsible and serious. So it's, yes, and there's a sense of exploding out, almost exploding out of your skin. That may be the feeling, a feeling of explosion. Right now I think there's certainly a feeling that the earth is on boiling point. What with the earthquake we just had in Greece that was very unsettling a couple of days ago, and over 60 aftershocks, the recent one in California, the wildfires in Portugal. I mean, there's political situation is heating up, everything's heating. And so it's important to remember the child, and not to get into the fear and the panic if you can help it. Because the last thing you want to give a child is fear and panic. I live in a building with 7 floors. Luckily I'm on the ground floor, so none of my things actually fell around during this earthquake. But above me on the 5th floor, my neighbours, poor little girl in her room, all the books fell off the bookshelf and everything fell close to her. And she was really frightened, you know, only 6 years old. So what I think is important is that we remember to smile from your heart, and to know that things might get heated. Sagittarius is another fire sign. It's just magnifying and activating all of this Leo energy. It's the heat of the summer for most of us. There are many protests, riots. Look at Hong Kong. There's all kinds of angry, frustrated energy around. And sometimes it's difficult to contend with, I have to admit. Today I was at the dentist. I'm not the best patient in the dentist chair anyway, so I'd sort of worked myself up to this for a few weeks. And he was a new dentist, I didn't know him very well. First time, and he was removing some mercury out of one of my teeth. And you know, he got heated because, you know, I was a little nervy and I jumped around, and I think he got a little afraid. So he didn't speak very good English. And he got his brother, you know, he said something in Greek very fast to his brother, and he said, translate that for her. I said, look, I got the energy. I got the message energetically. So you might feel somebody's energy. And then I thought, right, do I buy into this fire energy that's coming up? Or do I realize it's coming up? And thank goodness the astrology does give us that heads up. That's the benefit, it gives you a little bit of a roadmap. So I thought to myself, great, Mercury's retrograde, so misunderstandings and getting hot under the collar. So I said to him, it's all right, I'll relax. I won't move, I won't swallow, I'll just try to relax. And it was okay. And then afterwards, we were hugging. You know, it was whole heart energy. I was so relieved it was over, and I think he was too. So if you can remember, you might go through a bit of a kerfuffle with somebody. There might be a little bit of frustrated, passionate energy coming out. And if you can just say, okay, I see what's happening, and it's okay. Now, Leo encourages you to be brave, to be courageous. Okay, with Venus and Mars in Leo, Venus in a few days' time, and the Sun. Not only is it good for romance, it's also really good for letting your being vibrate. So whatever causes you to vibrate more, wearing red is good. You can see red's behind me. I've got bits of red in my blouse, but anything with the color red or orange is very powerful at this time. Anything where you connect with that base chakra, the power energy. Drums are good, dancing is good, music is good. Anything that is fires you up. The expression of the fire inside of you. It's a wonderful time for learning something that's exciting to you. Yeah, what can you learn that would thrill you? Maybe you want to go skydiving, scuba diving. What would really put you in the moment? You know how being in love with somebody really puts you in the moment. It's just wonderful. You think of your beloved and your heart sings. You might want to remember a beloved and remember how wonderful that felt. I can still remember my first real love when I was just 18. And I saw Michael across a crowded university lecture hall, and that was it. It was just, wow. And even still just thinking of him makes me feel more alive. So what thoughts can you have that make you feel alive? What ideas have you got that you'd like to pursue? It's a wonderful idea for giving yourself a challenge, something that you can really push through. Because there's always the romance time, and then there's some hard work to be done, usually. Yes, not always romance and flowers and champagne. So yes, wonderful time to go for that. I can't wait to share my theremin with you. I'm not quite ready yet because I've only had the one lesson, but it's a real extraterrestrial instrument, because it's the only instrument that I know that plays without you touching it. So you're just playing on the sound waves that are actually in the air. So what would you like to do that's creative? What would you like to do that brings something new into your life? Think of that fire energy, think of those millions of sperms all trying to find a destination so they can realize something in the form, in earthly life, in 3D life. Scientists are telling us there are lots of solar activity. Some are saying there's less solar activity. Some is saying there is more solar activity. I'm not sure which is which because Mercury is retrograde. I'm not surprised that there are polarized views. But this is a time for up and out, opening your arms to the world, embracing as many people as you can. If people are not your thing, then maybe embracing animals and trees and nature. But just opening that heart so that the heart comes up and out. Speaking up about work-related issues that are bottling up. Thank you, Fatima. Well, Mercury's retrograde, so if it's something really important, you might want to wait until Mercury goes direct at the beginning of August. However, if you are bottling up the emotions, you could write them out, you could shout them out, you could play darts, you could play drums, you could dance to some really grounding, energizing music, but it is important to get it out. So I would say, how long is this fire energy available? Well, it's coming in from tomorrow, and it's very strong for the next month. Really strong, because we'll have the new moon. Embracing animals in your diet. Well, to be honest with you, each one is finding their own way right now. I think it's very important that we allow each person to be able to make their choices, and to be free in those choices. So if that's working for you, that's fantastic. So what else did I want to share? I think that we're getting all this seismic activity because I think a lot of it is wake-up calls. Yes, wake up, hello, wake up. What are you unconscious about? This fire energy, because of the heat of it, can make you sweat, can get out all the toxins. It's a great time for sweating, for saunaing, for doing anything that, especially over the next couple of weeks, while we're in the waning moon, any kind of detoxing is really good at this time. I'm going to go to table tennis tonight, and I'm going to whack and smash as many smashes as I can, because it's just fun. It's fun to do it. So bring something into your life that really is fun for you. Every morning I like to sing a couple of songs along with YouTube, whatever happens to be turning me on for this week. So that's another thing to do. Well, yeah, everybody's got different opinions with meat and not meat, and different ways of eating meat. It's a very personal decision. And I'm just going to say, I think we're all feeling our way right now. We're living in between lots of different realities. The reality of a world that looks desperate and desolate and difficult and perilous. And yet another possible reality of a world that is conscious and light and alive and community oriented, with lots of opportunity where each person can uniquely grow into their greatest potential. That's what I love about astrology. Astrology can help you to bring out your greatest potential. That's why I like sharing these live streams with you, because you can feel the potential, I hope, of the planetary influences. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Things are just firing off, and you may find that things get out of control. I would much rather not have had to sneeze live online, but okay, it is a feeling with the fire energy that things have got not so much control, and this feeling of infinite possibility. That's really what's most important. Infinite possibility. I don't do the tarot professionally. I've learned some of it, but I'm not professional as I am as an astrologer. So the energy now is this, yes, this fire energy, thank you Wendy, is like a dam being blown up. All this earth and water has been quite heavy, 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 heavy. And emotions are running high. Yes, Wendy? And it's important to try to keep your anger in check if you can, and then get it out somehow. Don't let it fester on the inside. So, let your fire burn. Ignite that base chakra so that all the chakras and everything about you from head to toe comes to life. This is a very lively time. So I'll take a couple of questions if you've got any. And I don't know about Lionsgate, I have to confess. Thank you, Chocolate-eress. Not something I know about. There's lots of Wendys here today, okay? But each Wendy is a unique Wendy. Don't lump them all together. Sweating is really good. Sweating is burning up and burning out things that your body doesn't need or want. So if you've been working through the lower chakras, you may find that the upper ones are burning up. And that's great. It's here for about a month. Remember to use fire energy wisely. So of course, come too close to it and you get burned, but come reasonably close and it's soothing and it's warm and it can be very healing. Think of soothing muscles with the warm energy, the warmth, the healing energy. So yes, there's detoxing happening politically. Many detoxes have to happen so that something new and empowering and inspiring can come in. We may find a new leader emerges during this time. Leaders often emerge during fire times. And leaders often do have quite a lot of fire in their charts. Obama was a Leo. Trump is Gemini with Sagittarius moon. So there's often a lot of fiery energy in leadership. So remember to bring out your leadership quality, not to be victimized, and to come up with what is important for you. So I think that's all I've got to share for right now. I think this can be very positive energy, depending on how you choose to see it, how you choose to use it. Can you use it for healing? Yes, you can use it for healing. Most definitely you can. Well, if you're triggered with anger, responding in anger doesn't usually get you the desired result. But if you can see that, if you can become aware of the energy coming up in you, and you're conscious of it, then you are able to maybe change that violent response, because anger is often violent, and that's really not what you want, because chances are you're going to get a violent response back. So I'm sending you heartfelt love, passion, enthusiasm, inspiration, and I thank you very much for being with me today, and look forward to being with you again soon. Bye for now.